Hey team, it's me here with your post Easter weekly update. I hope all of you guys got a chance to celebrate and have a wonderful time on Easter Sunday. If you had a lot going on, I hope you've had a chance to rest and rejuvenate. It's hard to believe, you guys. We're just under 2 months from the end of school. So for parents, I hear you that things are going to start to get busy and crazy with spring sports and all the end of year things. This week and next week my daughter's in testing, so I know a lot of our older kids are in testing, and so this just tends to be the season where things start to feel busy in a very frenetic kind of way, if that makes sense. Whereas leading up to Easter, it was like a lot of preparation for Easter, but now it just feels like there's a lot that is happening. And frankly, there is a lot that's happening. But first, I would like to encourage you guys, if you haven't already, to take a minute to pause and reflect on Easter. How was that for you? Was there anything that you felt like the Lord was speaking to you about, that either was something new or something old that He reminded you of during the Easter season? Was there something that you guys did different as a family that was great? I would love to hear about new rhythms or new routines as families, or even some of the old ones that you're like, hey, we've been doing this, all the time or every year, and but this year it just felt different. I mean, I've been, following Jesus for a very long, for over 30 years now. And, Holy Week is always like just one of those really dichotomous weeks, where it's like you got the sorrow and the joy. And I don't know, there was just really something very different about Holy Week this year. I don't know if it was because I had that musical playlist I was listening to, but I don't know, it just kind of hit my soul in a different way. And I actually don't know if I have words right now to describe what that was like. I met with my spiritual director, and I was trying to share that with her. It's like I don't even know if I can describe with words what the Lord was doing, but there was definitely something pinging inside of me, um, in response to Jesus's experience of Holy Week. And so I'm just curious if anything landed for any of you guys. But I would also encourage you guys to take a moment and to celebrate. There was a lot of things that happened. So if you guys were at our Good Friday service, that was amazing. A lot of people were in the room. Jay and Arturo and Iglesia, they did a great job, with all the elements. Our journey to the cross was great, you guys. That's always a fun space. If you were at the Easter egg hunt, either as an attendee or as a helper, we had hundreds of people from the community show up. It was a great event. I don't really have anything bad to say. It was just, it sounded like the kids had a great time, parents had a great time. I got to have lots of great conversations with people, and for the people that I didn't know from the inside of our church, a lot of the consensus was, oh, we live in the neighborhood, and we either got a flyer or we were driving by and we saw this thing happening. And so we decided to come check you guys out, which is amazing. Of course, and then Easter Sunday, all of you guys, we didn't have a single hole leading into Easter Sunday. Like, all the spots got filled with help. And so I'm very thankful for all of you guys and the ways that you showed up to help, create space for our kids and families, on Easter Sunday. So, specifically, Sue Bakoven, she ended up serving all three services, you guys, helping out in different classrooms. So, Sue, I really, really appreciate all that you do to love on our kids and families. Katie, you captained for two services, creating opportunities for me to go serve other ways. Joy, you and your daughter served in the 1 year old room that we got to have for the first time. I know it was probably a small number of kiddos that were there, but that was just a great way to start to create a new space. Stephanie, all of your help leading up to Easter Sunday, between filling holes, helping with the Easter egg hunt, showing up at the building, being like, Lindsay, how can I help you? You even served on Easter Sunday. Um, Kudos to all of you guys. And then, even if I didn't mention your name, don't feel bad, you guys. I am very thankful to all of you guys who served. If I were to list everybody's name, this video would be 5 hours long. So just know that I am thankful for all of you guys and the ways that you helped and served. But I would encourage you guys to pause and to reflect, and what are the things you would want to celebrate from Easter. Let's not go into this next couple of months without pausing to reflect and to celebrate all that God is doing. Um, but with that, we do have some things happening. So this Sunday, April 12th, you guys, is the last Sunday of our Created New series. I'm curious just how that's going with the kiddos. Are you guys noticing anything? Is anything popping? I don't know, anybody getting feedback around the Created New bags that we handed out? What's interesting is there was a video attached to the Created New, like, watch this video as a family, and so I can see how many times the video has been played. So I have some idea of at least two, how many families have done that part. But I just would love any feedback. This week is great. So we're ending the series of like, hey, like, we are all created new. Um, and it's Jesus makes us new. And so it's, we're actually looking in Romans 5, which is actually, I was reading it before I hopped on this video, and it actually talks about like all of these things that happen, that we've been made right with God because of our faith. We have peace, grace, joy. We can walk through shame, through suffering, because that God has a plan for that. And then one of the verses then ends with like, this happened through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us, which I thought was very interesting, because actually next week, our series, the 19th, we actually started a series on the Holy Spirit. So I don't know if they intentionally did that as like a foreshadowing or not, but I actually do love that this kind of leads us into our next series on the power of the Holy Spirit. But there are some things coming up that I just wanted to make you guys aware of, either A, so you guys can invite families to participate if you yourselves want to participate, or if people have questions, you kind of know, hey, here's the deal. So first up is child dedications. We always do those on Mother's Day, but 3 weeks before Mother's Day, we have a class that we ask all parents to attend, so that I can speak to them a little bit about like, what are child dedications? Why do we hold them? Why, parents, why are you guys so important? Like, how are you a part of God's plan for raising your kids? And so we always do a class 3 weeks before. So that's coming up on the 19th. So specifically for parents of kids and toddlers and preschoolers, probably tend to more hit this age. But I've dedicated families with parents of older age kids. It's not about the age of the kids as much as it's about the parents realizing like, hey, this is my responsibility. This is my calling. This is what God is asking of me, and I am committing to this process. We are also going to be doing a spring service project. So I don't know if you guys know what May baskets are. I actually didn't know what they are, so I had to look them up. Um, but in class on the 26th, the kids are going to make May baskets, and then on May 1st, we're going to go and deliver them to an assisted living facility. And so we'll be sending out more details about that as we finalize all the details. Julie is doing a great job working out all of those little logistical pieces of what we need to know for that service project. But I love that we're helping our younger kids and families engage with an older generation within the not they're not necessarily in our church, but just an older generation. When we talk about, when we say we are pro-life, we're pro-life from birth to death. So that includes not only our youngest, but also the oldest. And so I love that we're getting a chance to engage with multiple generations with the service project. May 1st, we're also going to be doing an Epic Girls Unsleepover. So if you're not familiar with this, Epic is our 4th and 5th grade ministry, so our preteens. And it's an unsleepover because we're not going to be sleeping over at the church. But the girls were like, we want to do something where we get to stay at church late. And so we're going to go deliver the baskets, and then we're going to come back to church, and or kids can join us, and we're going to do a sleep movies, a little spa night and stuff like that. And I'm actually really looking forward to this. I hope we can be able to invite lots of friends. It was funny. I was talking to a young lady who, I'm not going to mention her name, but she was an Epic girl a long time ago, and she's going to help out with this event. And she's like, when I was in 5th or 6th grade, I remember doing a spa night with the Epic girls, and she goes, that was like impactful for me. And so I'm excited to potentially provide that opportunity for our girls now to have an impactful moment at this sleepover. Drum roll, you guys, for those of you who are like, hey, we haven't done a kids' night out since we moved in the building, or actually, it's been a very long time. We are going to do a kids' night out in May. It's going to be, I think it's the night before Mother's Day, so I think it's May 9th, whatever that Saturday night is. It's going to be slightly different from what we have offered in the past, so make sure you're paying attention to details. So first of all, it's only going to be like maybe 3.5 hours long, but it'll be pizza, movie, crafts, and stuff like that. And by the way, you guys, don't get used to these. If we do kids' night out moving forward, they're only going to happen once or twice a year, just because of budget and stuff like that. But I know a lot of parents have missed them. These are great opportunities to like engage in the community, or for you guys to like invite friends, like, hey, let's drop our kids off and go out to dinner together. And so I've been wanting to provide an opportunity for families to participate, or to have like this space to go out and invest in their marriage and in their relationships while their kids are at church having a great time. But so we're going to do one in May. And then Mother's Day, of course, will be child dedications. And then if you guys, I don't know if it's on the app yet or not. It's hard because of my administrative privileges, I can see things that you guys can't necessarily see. But we need to start getting the date out there. In June, we're doing a church camping trip. We're going to go to Cherry Creek. I got 2 group campsites, which are next to each other, where we can have up to 100 people per night. So you can come for one night if you want to. You can come for both nights. It's just a great way to come with a lot of friends and get to really know other families within the life of our church. You can use this as an invitational space. Um, if we can figure out fire restrictions and stuff like that, we'll have bonfires at night. There's just a lot of things we'll have to figure out as we get closer to the date. But I just want you guys to start marking that date. I think it's June 11th through the 13th. So if you guys are in town and don't have plans yet, we would love for you guys to start signing up. Do sign up because there are only so many like RV spaces versus tent spaces that we can have and stuff like that. So make sure you check out the app for things that are coming up. So thanks you guys for listening to this little long spiel, but I wanted to take a moment to celebrate Easter and everything else like that with you guys. So I hope you guys have a great weekend and enjoy this beautiful weather. See you on Sunday.